Alright, here's how I make my gangions for halibut fishing. So I use the pre-cut gangion material. You can cut your own. These ones are 42 inches, but they're a little bit longer than what I like. So I put my first snap swivel on, and I tie a knot. Your loops don't have to be super big. Pulling them all tight. At the end, I usually wrap it or like have a hook or something, and I'll pull them as tight as I can. Make a single knot. This one's gonna go a little further down, about there. You're gonna cut this at the end, so don't worry about this for now. Take another swivel, and then you're gonna make a loop up top. And then, once again, pull as tight as you can. And I take my serrated knife. Cut that. And then torch them. Same thing on the other side. Torch it. There you go. And then your weight goes on the sliding one and your hook goes on this one. Alright, here's how I make my halibut hooks to attach to my gangions for when I'm anchored halibut fishing. First, I start with my 400-pound test, and I cut it about 30 inches, and then I get my crimps. These are the size E to match the 400-pound test, and my 12-aught hooks, and a pair of pliers to crimp them. So I start with adding a crimp and a hook, and then feeding that line back through the crimp, then pulling it tight. Just want a little bit of a tail end, and I like mine pretty tight up here so that the hooks can't bend too much and swivel. I take mine and I go to this middle one, and I use the table to get more strength to help crimp them. Do one on each side, and then I do one in the middle for extra support. And then I always just examine it just to make sure that fully crimped. I'd go to the other side, add another crimp, circling it back. This is the part that you attach to your gangion. So it doesn't have to be a huge circle, just something about that size. And then same thing here. Really making sure to crimp them down well. And there you have it.